Hello, and welcome to this AJMC peer exchange titled Value-Based Considerations of CDK4/6 Inhibitors in the Treatment of Metastatic Breast Cancer. I'm Dr. Bruce Feinberg, VP of Clinical Affairs and Chief Medical Officer of Cardinal Health Specialty Solutions, and I'll be moderating today's panel discussion. Joining me for this virtual discussion are Kelli Davis, Metaviver patient advocate and co-founder of the Northwest Arkansas Medscarade, Dr. William J. Gradishar, Robert H. Lurie Comprehensive Cancer Center, Dr. Joyce A. O'Shaughnessy, Baylor Salmons Cancer Center, Texas Oncology, and Dr. Stephen Peskin, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. So all of you are well aware the landscape of therapy for advanced breast cancer is rapidly changing with the expanding role of novel agents. Today we're going to discuss the treatment outlook for metastatic hormone receptor-driven breast cancer and highlight the role of CDK4/6 inhibitors with clinical data as well as the implications for clinical practice. Our panel of experts will also address the impact on value-based care. It might be said that every stakeholder has a unique value perspective when it comes to value-based care. In fact, I've written on that, published in AJMC about 2 years ago. And you might say that each of those stakeholders, the provider, the patient, the pharmaceutical manufacturer, and the payer need to be represented if we're going to really find a value-based care solution. It might also be said that, unfortunately, at the center of all care is the patient whose voice has been the least heard when it comes to value-based care. So we thought we'd turn that paradigm on its head today, and we're going to begin with the impact on value-based care and start with the patient perspective. And so, Kelli, I want to start with you. And this is a rare opportunity and kind of unique in this format where we have not only a patient advocate and not only a patient who became a patient advocate, but a patient who was actively in care at this time on treatment. And so, Kelli, I'd love to just begin by describing your treatment journey, how you came into the role of patient advocacy, and what are you trying to champion in that role in regard to bringing education to patients and caregivers, and how are you trying to develop the perspective of the patient so it's better understood by other stakeholders?
Absolutely. So thank you for the great introduction, Dr. Feinberg. I appreciate you having me here. Again, my name is Kelli, and I'm a metastatic breast cancer patient and have been for a little over 5.5 years. It's been kind of an interesting journey over the past 12 years. I've had breast cancer for 12 years and metastatic breast cancer for 5.5. And I'm 38 years old, so this has kind of been the norm for most of my adult life. When I was initially diagnosed metastatic, I fell into a really deep depression. I didn't know how to cope with not being the pink ribbon survivor any longer, right? I mean, I was celebrated, and now I was told I was going to die, and I really couldn't develop the coping mechanisms to figure out how to live with cancer. And actually came back from that with an idea after I got the help and support that I needed. So a big part of my platform is also mental health and palliative care to really ensure that we're getting the care that we need from a mental and emotional perspective, because this is a life-changing diagnosis, right? So within that location, when I was institutionalized for a while, I had an idea to create something that raised money for research, and not just any kind of research, but metastatic breast cancer treatment research, which is why Metaviver is different. Every penny that we raise goes right to metastatic breast cancer treatment research. So that's something that we're really proud of. To date, we've raised around $1.5 million right here in Northwest Arkansas, which is something we're super proud of. And every penny that's gone to research. And there have been 7 other Medscarades, which is like a gala for metastatic breast cancer, that's kind of that have popped up around the country. So they've raised another $1.5 million as well. So that's something. Patients were tired of dying quietly. So we're actually, taking out this grassroots effort and really trying to make a difference and make our voices heard. And that's happened in a lot of different ways. We are speaking at ASCO. I spoke at ASCO this past year. We are speaking at San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium. We partner with researchers. We partner with our clinicians. We partner with our oncologists. And we really want to be part of that conversation at the table. If we're not at the table, we're on the menu, right? So we're seeing this new breed of metastatic breast cancer patients that are also advocates, and we want to really make that distinction known, because a lot of times patient advocate is deemed as somebody who is supporting a patient, but it's not also a patient. We are patients first and advocates second. So we really appreciate being able to have that conversation and be part of these, these really in-depth conversations, because we're the ones that really stand to gain and lose the most out of these changes. It's been really exciting to see over the past 6 years, things really starting to change and improve, and metastatic being part of the nomenclature and things that we hear on television, and an honest picture portrayed over what metastatic breast cancer is, not a patient shaming modality or something that is not talked about at all. It is scary, having a median lifespan of 36 months is terrifying, but you know what, it doesn't have to be that way. And hopefully with what we're doing, with MetaViver and other institutions, that it won't always be that way.